Hi and welcome to another episode of Roettgen Braai Master. Today we're making beef short ribs on my Kamado with white asparagus. And what you need for it and how to do it, I'm going to show you in this episode. And this is what we need for today. Now obviously we need beef short ribs, and these are just two lovely pieces from a German producer, but they have great marbling as well, so I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be seasoning them with beef booster from Ankerkraut. I think that goes extremely well together. And then as the asparagus season has just started, this is some lovely white asparagus. Look at the thickness of them. They look absolutely fantastic, and we're just going to eat them with some warm butter. Now I've already started peeling the asparagus, and what you want to do is you want to take off the end because it does tend to be a bit hard. And then we're just going to peel them and make sure that you know, whatever you shave off, you retain, because that's what we're going to throw later on into the water that we're going to cook the asparagus in, and it will release a lot of flavor, and you can actually make a soup out of it later on if you like. Right, with the beef ribs, very quickly, we're just going to take off any excess fat that we have on there. Obviously not too much, because you know, we obviously want to have that fat render down a little bit and moisturize the beef ribs, but obviously we also want the rub to have a chance to get onto the meat, so we're just going to take off those big chunks right here. And then we're also going to take the silver skin off, so similar like when we take it off for pork ribs. Just take a spoon, go along the bone and loosen it up, and then you can just almost pull it off in one go. It just helps to get all the nice flavors from the rub to get really into the meat. Right, the silver skin and the excess fat is off, and what I like to do is I like to take some of the olive oil that we have here at home and just give it a quick rub, and that will be used as a binding agent for the rub to stick. Also what I've done is I've scarred the remaining tissue that is on the bone a little bit so that it can retract when it gets hot. That will help us with keeping them nice and uniform, hopefully. And then we're just going to sprinkle the rub all over, make sure that it sticks nicely, and then we're already ready to put it on the Kamado. The Kamado is sitting at about 105 degrees, and I'm already smoking some pork butts, but that is a different video, so tune in. We're going to smoke them now for about 3 hours, and then we're going to wrap them in butcher's paper. The first 3 hours are up, and you can clearly tell that the meat has already started to retract from the bones, so we're now going to wrap it in butcher's paper, put it on for another 2 hours until we're ready to glaze. The ribs have been in a little over 2 hours, and it's time to create our asparagus broth. And what you do is obviously you take the shavings, you know, as you probably remember. You add a bit of butter into it, as well as about a tablespoon of sugar. Maybe a little bit more. And then you assemble it all and you pour hot water over it and bring that to a boil, and then you let that simmer for about 15 minutes. That will help all the end pieces as well as the stuff that you shaved off to really release all the flavors. 2.5 hours later, we're ready to unpack and check out these beef ribs. I mean, they look absolutely fantastic already. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some original A1 steak sauce and give them a bit of a basting, and then we're good to go in about half an hour's time. We're quickly going to melt some butter in a cast iron pot, and then we're going to take care of our asparagus. 15 minutes to go on the ribs, and we're ready to take care of the asparagus. So very simple. Obviously we have our little container right here, and we're just going to put them in standing upright. And then we're going to bring that up to a boil, and then we let that soak or simmer for about 15 minutes, and then we're ready to go. Very important when you're using a pot like this, try to keep the heads of the asparagus out of the water by about that much. so they remain a little bit of a bite. Exactly 6 hours later, we're done, and check out how much that meat has retracted from the bone. So let's give it that center cut. And I think that looks like a success. And last but not least, we're just going to pour some of that melted butter on top of the asparagus, and then we're ready to eat. And I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video about the beef short ribs with the white asparagus. Now, it was absolutely delicious, and I think hands down they were the best beef short ribs that I've ever made. So yeah, if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate a comment and a thumbs up, and please head over to that subscribe button for more great videos to come, and I hope to see you soon again. Roettgen Braai Master.